I felt like I was down the bottom of the totem pole, but had that group at the mod bench. um, so
Talk about that because I was going to say I remember that you did have a personal style that was not plain Jane. It was there's sort of a tie-in to kind of music, maybe like new wave. I don't want to explain it
yeah,
for you, but just talk about how you saw yourself, what you think you and your friends had in common, and for those who don't know, what was the mod bench?
the mod bench was a bench under a tree right in front of the library. I heard it's not there anymore, but it was a lot of people with, I don't know, I guess like we had alternative um, style and like alternative music, I guess, new wave, punk, Eric, and I guess we had music in common. I liked a lot of the bands that everybody did that hung out there. I would remember bringing my Tower Records bag because after school, my sister and I would go there and buy some records and then bring it to school the next day to show people. And yeah, fond memories of that.
Who were some of the top bands that you spent the most time listening to in those days?
Oh, for sure. Joy Division, New Order, The Cure, The Smiths. I still listen to in my car, and I've got my kids listening to that too. So that's pretty cool.
It all holds up pretty well.
It does, yeah.
You can't say that that is sort of universally uplifting music. There's a little bit of a
It's
dark element to it. So where do you think that came from? Were you drawn to that, or
I
was it
was,
your group?
I think I still am because it's like the woe is me, this girl that doesn't have friends. Like, oh, yes. Yeah, that's that was my teenage life. Hmm.
I think kids these days don't realize that way before the era of the internet, like music was very important because that was sort of like this cultural product that you'd get, and you didn't have much more information about it. You just knew
Yeah.
that the songs were important. To talk a little bit about sort of the central role of music in, I guess, the mod bench friendships, or just sort of that as being a commonality among your friends.
In those days, music for me was like it was everything. I mean, from the when I woke up, I had my little tape player in my room and making these mixtapes. So I was lucky that my dad was really into music. So he had this great stereo system, and I would, make my mixtapes on there and um, listen to it in the car because we were driving from Mililani to Punahou, which was, in traffic, it was long. So listening to my music in the car all the way there, and it was just a big, big part of life. I mean, it still is now for me. My group of friends, we all liked the same thing, and like I said, we would trade records and make mixtapes for each other and stuff like that.
What did your dad think of Joy Division?
So it's funny. I don't know if he liked Joy Division, but he was funny. He was just a very happy person and very funny. And, like I said, he was a people magnet, but I have a memory of him driving me to school in his Mazda RX-7. And I would put my music on. I'd just take over, his little sound system in the car, and I'd put my tape in, and we'd be driving in traffic. And I don't remember what song it was, but he'd be drumming on the steering wheel because he turned it up real loud, and he'd be looking at the people next to me, and I'm like, oh my god, dad, it's so embarrassing. But yeah.